Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's time for gray matter. And if you can't tell, I literally just walked off the golf course like 20 fucking minutes ago. So, I am late. I don't even know if Carrie and Nice and Roger are even showing up today because I was doing golf things all day. And it is 420. So, you can imagine what that meant in my world. Not that 420 is any different than any other day in my universe, but kind of went in today. Kind of went in today, and I am running on E. Literally. There's Roger Harper. All right. I got somebody to talk to today. Roger Harper, what up, homie? There he goes.
What up? What up?
I am literally 5 minutes off of the golf course, man.
Damn. Wish I was on the golf course. Shit.
Well, 420 golf is a tradition in my world, dude.
Oh man, I know. I'm gonna get some 420 in now, Bubba.
You can see the look on my eyes right now. I am.
Man, I was kneed up in some ass last night. My dude told me he went the fuck off last night for my deep 420 special.
Oh, word.
Yeah, my dude was tuned in. I was like, damn, I missed that shit.
Yeah, I was a little bit high last night, and I just continued that run all the way through this morning and this afternoon, and continuing it now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Fuck it, I'll eat later. We got football to talk about. Yeah, man, it's happy 420, homie. Shit.
Yeah, happy 420 to you too, homie.
Yeah, I'm about to roll the fuck up right now.
Yeah, that's what we do. We got spark up right now.
Yeah, man. Woo. That much weed and golf don't go that well together, man.
I'm sure you had a good time though.
Yeah, that's one of those rounds where you don't even take the scorecard with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yep. I don't know what's up with Carrie and Nice this week. I have no idea what's going on. Carrie's usually working, but he'll probably pop in.
These guys too loud over here. How do you move?
Nah, it's all right, man.
Because you know you the big dog with the conversation. You know, I just be ad-libbing and trying to catch on and learn some stuff, man.
I mean, you know, that's everybody got to play their role in the squad, man. That's how it goes. The one sports show that I watch consistently on YouTube, man. Whenever one piece of the puzzle is missing, it's just off.
Yeah.
You know, they got the one guy that's like knows all the stats. They got one guy that's funny. They got one guy that's just stupid. You know, and they got one guy that just talks the whole time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, my respect goes out, man. You know your shit, though. You be on top of that shit.
Yeah, man. I try to be a knowledgeable individual, and plus, I just really fucking love football, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. We all love football. I love this shit too.
Football and weed. So what's been going on this week in the off season?
You know what? I really ain't been. I've been busy doing all my other stuff. I got these youth NFL flag tournaments coming up here, and working my job and getting ready for summer camp and stuff. I'm a manager at a community rec center too as well. So I've been doing all kind of shit, man.
Oh, dope.
Yep.
Yeah, I like I hang out and smoke weed and shit, so I got a lot of free time.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all my days gonna come here soon. I'll be out there visiting you on the golf course, guaranteed.
Let's get it in. Prepare your lungs because I smoked 5 blunts. I smoked 5 blunts to the face during this round today, Roger. I mean, but we all know with me, that's not really a big deal. I typically smoke 4 blunts in every YouTube episode that I do. So, all right, let's get into some football talk. Biggest thing that happened this off week is Alex Smith has finally decided to stop playing football.
Oh, he retired, huh?
Yeah, so legendary for the injury that he had because he almost died, and to make it back onto the field.
Yeah.
And not only back on the field, but playing pretty well as a quarterback for Washington.
Yeah, I respect his game. He did a lot. I mean, even though he was a great back, a decent starter, but a better backup.
Yeah, it's funny because he led Washington right into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, he sure did.
But
big ups to him. But
I mean, me and Kerry, dude, every time that he played, me and Kerry would text each other and be like, "Yo, every time he drops back, I think he's gonna die." Like, it really scares me. So it's good that he finally hung it up, man. Like, you proved your point. There's nothing left to prove.
Exactly. He done his thing. He had a good career.
So the other thing that happened this week is Alden Smith got arrested again.
Who got arrested?
Alden Smith.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, exactly. He got arrested again. Assault and battery. He got assault and battery charges and shit on him.
Wow.
You know, it's crazy, Roger, is the Seahawks literally just signed him. Like, just signed him, and he got a battery charge again.
Wow. Damn, you got to know when to fold. You got to know when to pull. You can't be, shit. OJ fucked it up for everybody. You can't put your hand on women at all.
Yeah, he was already on a really short leash anyway, dude. He had been out of football for years because of substance abuse issues and off the field issues.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, he came back and he played pretty well for not playing football for 4 fucking years. And then now, he's got arrested again. Like, this guy can't control himself off of the field.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
So did you? Yeah, did you play?
Go ahead.
Did you play with anybody that was like that like had talent but just could not control themselves off the field?
I can't recall. You know what? Nah, I can't recall nobody that had any issues like that. Maybe some illegal shit going on or something with the Cowboys. Them boys is always into some shit, But other than that, I can't recall them guys with those physical altercations where it costs them their job or their career or nothing like that.
I mean, it doesn't, you got to look at it. It doesn't matter what your motivation is for playing football because, everybody's motivation is not, I want to win Super Bowls.
Everybody's motivation is different. Might be their family, might be football, it might be, a sick one or a family member who just want to take care of your family finances. It could be anything.
Yeah, it might be a springboard to get into coaching or broadcasting or something like that. There's so many different motivations. But when you do something like that, no matter what your motivation is, you just fucked up, homie. Like, I don't care if it's money or legacy or football or, any of that shit. Like, you just fucked it up. And
we talked about that last week with your boy Sharper. Remember Sharper?
Yeah, Darren Sharper, man.
Just doing stuff, crazy shit. Ocho Cinco's an example of that shit. Cut his career off real quick after that shit.
Yeah, I mean, Ray Rice is another example. Ray Rice.
And
it's funny because you remember what was the dude that played for the Cowboys that ended up in MMA fighting because he doesn't play football anymore?
Oh, I got a bunch of Dallas fans. Hey, Dwight, what's my man's name in MMA, Dallas Cowboys, that does MMA now? Greg Hardy.
Yeah, you gotta remember Greg Hardy picked up a girl and bench pressed her over his head and threw her across the room onto a pile of guns. So, like,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, he wasn't going to get to play football anymore, especially if Ray Rice wasn't. The whole Ray Rice incident, the difference in that is every time something like that happened, Roger, nobody saw it, so it wasn't stuck in anybody's brain, right?
Exactly.
Ray Rice, everyone saw that video of him knocking his wife out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, excuse me, girlfriend at the time, because remember, she married him after that happened.
Exactly. Tried to help him get back in the league. You know, was trying to defend him and all that stuff.
Yeah, that shit didn't work. Nobody cared.
Yeah, yeah. So what team are we focusing on this week?
This week we got the Broncos.
Okay. Okay.
This is like our last week of nonsense before it starts to get good because the Broncos, as we know, they don't have a fucking quarterback.
Exactly.
They literally have no quarterback. They do have a lot of young talent, though. But I mean, all right. So one thing that they do have is they have a sneaky good wide receiver core because me and Carrie were utilizing their wide receivers in fantasy football all last year. So, I mean, but that typically happens with a team that's terrible because they're always playing from behind.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't get to keep up with them last season. Well, they ended up they were half with 50-50.
Basically, it comes down to quarterback play because their quarterback is like he's one of those quarterbacks is like he'll make a throw and you'll be like, wait a minute, maybe you do belong here. Then all of a sudden he throws 3 picks and it's like, oh wait a minute, you don't belong here. So the arm talent is there. I don't think the head is there, and it seems like motherfucking John Elway is a terrible GM.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he was able to get Peyton Manning to come by and win a chip with him for one season.
Yeah. I know they had a decent undrafted running back that gotten some injuries.
Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, he doesn't play for them anymore. They let him go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's John Elway doing? That was like the one bright spot on their offense last year. Really was Philip Lindsay. And, I mean, they did have, like, Ken Hamler and Kenny Hinton, like, out of nowhere just started catching touchdowns at the end of the year. But it was all about Philip Lindsay because he came out of nowhere, but then he got injured. And then they just ran with Melvin Gordon towards the end of the year. But Melvin Gordon, even though he never cracks 1,000 yards, he does get a lot of touchdowns. So, yeah, it was really surprising, dude, that they let Philip Lindsay go because I think this is only his 3rd year. So he wouldn't be under the 4th or 5th year option, so he wouldn't even be expensive yet.
Exactly. Where did he get traded to?
You know what? I'll tell you right now. Let me pull it up. But yeah, Flea. What up, Flea? Yeah, I know. Even Flea in the chat is just like, yo, wait a minute. They let Lindsay go? Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But then again, that's fucking John Elway, dude.
Yeah, Mr. Prima Donna. He's a funny kind of guy. Different kind of guy.
Yeah. Got all the physical talent in the world to play football, but he hasn't
been able to put that team together yet, like you said. But he got Manning in that one season. But
all right, so yeah, now Philip Lindsay's playing for the Texans now.
Wow.
Yeah. Really strange that they let him go.
Yeah, no, he was like a bright spot for the future contributor that definitely has some skills.
Yeah, I mean, Roger, you got to look at a team with so many holes that if you have a rookie who contributes and is still under that rookie contract, you're going to want to keep him.
Exactly.
So
not expensive, and you can get your money's worth out of him. You know what I mean?
I mean, even if you're going to let him go, you still got another year on his contract that they could have had him.
Exactly.
And I don't think they got anything for him either. So really interesting to allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We know they're looking quarterback, but the question with them is at the position they are in the draft, are any of the quarterbacks that are worthy of a first-round draft pick still going to be there?
Mm-hmm.
They're in a weird spot. This is like I think they're at number 9, so they're in a really weird spot.
Oh, okay.
Especially since we know Atlanta has been in discussion to trade out of number 4. So some team that wants one of these quarterbacks is going to trade with Atlanta. Now we talked about this last week. The only team that even has the draft capital is New England.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it's
they still got money. They still got money. All the money they've been spending.
Well, it's not even the money. It's just, Belichick constantly is trading back in the draft and acquiring picks and picks and picks. So he always has multiple picks in every round. So they had the capital necessary because, what was it, to move up to number 3, San Francisco gave up 3 number 1s. So to move up to number 4, you might not have to give up 3 number 1s, but you're going to have to give up at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it really looks like, and then you have to look at the teams in this section of the draft, like 8 through 16, that actually need a quarterback, and there's only like 2 of them. So you're going to start to see teams in this area of the first round that are going to start drafting players that aren't fucking quarterbacks or wide receivers. Or that tackle from Oregon, Penny. He's going to go really high. That's like a guarantee. So it's interesting. We're definitely going to do a draft day special, like a live draft day special. I don't know how long we're going to do it because they like to drag the first round of the
Thursday night.
They like to drag that first round out to like fucking 5 hours though. We are not doing. Yeah. We're not doing 5 hours, homie. It's not happening.
That's right.
It's not happening.
Shit.
5 hours. I'll go through 12 blunts in 5 hours.
Man, I wish I could. I wish I could sit there and smoke back to back like that while I'd be asleep.
That's the only thing that ever slowed my mind down enough that I actually focus on anything. Oh, okay. I was wrong. It was Ken Hamler and Tim Patrick was the other wide receiver that just started. Yeah, so, all right, I'm looking at them statistically. This is always a good indication of where they're going to go in the draft. So, they let Lindsey go, which is weird. They never really had faith in Melvin Gordon, but apparently they got faith in Melvin Gordon now, even though he's never cracked 1,000 yards in a season, which I find interesting. They do have this kid Freeman, who's a rookie, that got in and showed some pop at the end of the year. But then again, we're looking at nothing, so that to me indicates later rounds a running back. Just a roster filler at that point. And then receiving wise, they're so young at receiver.
I'm trying to get in on this blunt session. Hold on real quick.
Go ahead and hit your blunt, homie. Oh yeah, I'll box it real quick. Gray batters, there's always time for blunt breaks.
Shit, I already know.
All right, so here's the funny thing about. All right, we all like Jerry Jeudy, the rookie wide receiver. We all know he was really great routes, blah, 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 blah. Here's something that I don't like about this kid. 113 targets, only 52 catches.
Wow, he must drop a lot of balls.
That's half. That's actually less than half. He's around 48% catch percentage, and that's not very good at all.
Wow.
Not in the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, be a receiver, that's what you're there for, to catch balls. And they pay you a lot of money to catch balls. So if you can't catch the ball, you won't be playing on the team for sure.
Well, I look at the next receiver on their list for as far as targets go. He had 79 targets and caught the same amount of passes. So that's 35 less targets with the same amount of catches. So that's dependability issues. Like, as a quarterback, all right, I can't throw it to this guy unless he's open because he's probably going to fucking drop it.
Wow.
But he's a rookie, and Jerry Rice had drop issues as a rookie, so I never look at that. But all these young kids coming in and getting busy on year one puts a microscope on all these other rookies that take time to develop.
Yes, it's always some guys come in and stand out, but it always takes time for guys to develop. Sometimes, some longer than others.
Yeah, I know, and It's unfortunate because you're always going to get compared to the people that were in the same draft class as you as far as to the timeline on your development.
Mm-hmm.
So look at the quarterbacks last season. Justin Herbert looked like a 10-year vet on day one. So every other rookie quarterback, you got to look at it and be like, well, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
You know, and it's like, that's not fair to some of them. Especially, look at this year's draft, dude. Trey Lance has played he played one game last year, for fuck's sake.
One of the top-rated quarterbacks to go.
Yeah, he's played 11 career games. Like, are you serious? 11 games in college and you're going to draft? The same thing happened with Mitchell Trubisky. 12 games in college and they drafted him based off of what they thought his potential was at number 2, mind you. And Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes were drafted after him. And now Mitchell Trubisky's not even on that roster anymore. So that GM definitely deserves to be fucking fired. What the hell were you thinking?
Pass those guys up.
Yo, Roger, I don't watch a whole lot of college football anymore, but I actually remember seeing a bunch of highlights of Trubisky in North Carolina, and I was just like, I don't understand why his draft stock is so high. Like, he didn't pass the eye test. I was never like, oh my God, look at this guy. Justin Herbert was instantaneously, dude. First snap in the NFL, you're like, oh, wait a minute, he belongs. Holy shit. Joe Burrow, same thing. You're like, oh, wow, yeah, this guy, he fits.
Yeah, you can definitely, tell those guys who has a future. Brett Favre, for example. Atlanta Falcons drafted him, and then they end up trading,
Yeah.
Examples of that, guys, especially with quarterbacks, some come in on point and some have to develop. And you know how it goes. If you ain't developing, then you won't be around.
Yeah, I mean, when Brett Favre had the advantage of having a cannon on his shoulder, so no matter what, they were going to keep him on the roster. Like, yeah, fuck it, let him throw Hail Marys. Who cares? He's an absolute cannon. So look at Aaron Rodgers' career. Aaron Rodgers, speaking of Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers sits for 4 seasons. But look what it did for his development because he sat behind Brett Favre for 4 years.
Exactly. Great.
And imagine who he would be if he would just got thrown into the fucking into the Lions den like who was the David Carr? Remember him, the first draft pick of the Texans?
Exactly.
He got sacked like 86 times his rookie year. That's not fair.
Ended his career early.
Yeah, who knows what he could have done?
Exactly. And I'm sure he has some potential. I mean, his brother was decent, with the Raiders. They did his brother, right? His little brother. Yeah, so it's in the bloodline. Yeah,
Derek's got a good arm, man. I just don't think that him and the coaching staff, since Chucky's taken over in Vegas, I don't think they really gel that well.
No, not at all.
And it's got to be tough. Yeah, it's got to be tough to be a quarterback who's the automatic de facto leader of the team, and the whole team knows that the coach doesn't really trust the quarterback that much. How could you lead the team if everybody knows the coach is like, I don't even like this fucking guy.
Exactly, that'd be a tough pill to swallow right there, especially for the quarterback knowing that.
Yo, could you imagine him trying to get people hyped and shit and giving speeches at practice, everybody's just looking at him like, yo, shut the fuck up, son. Even the coach, even a fucking Chucky's looking at him like, yo, you done yet?
Yeah. You got to look to kill anybody, that
Yeah, he got that look. He go look at Khalil Mack like, yo, you want to talk now? Could you get a real leader up here to speak?
Exactly.
Oh, man, feel bad for that guy. So, another thing that happened with Denver that helps their extremely young receiving core. So they can't complain that they have not surrounded whichever quarterback lands there with talent. As Courtland Sutton, their best receiver, only played 1 fucking game last year.
Due to injury?
Yeah, so they have him coming back to go with the surprising 2 rookie quarterbacks or receivers that actually outplayed Jerry Jeudy, their number 1 draft pick. So, and then they also have another number 1 draft pick that they use on offense, and Noah Fant, the tight end. So they literally just youth and potential on offense.
Okay.
And, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about their what's the defense needs and what they looking like? I don't have no information in front of me. I'm just asking.
No, so now the real question goes is the skills positions all look good. What the fuck is up with this offensive line?
Uh-huh.
So now I can pull up the depth chart and we can really figure this out because, dude, yeah, I did zero research on these bum-ass Broncos. I've always hated the Broncos, especially when Peyton Manning went there and won another title. That shit made me hate them even more. I hate their fucking uniforms. The shit is not 1997. Let's update that shit. Yeah, their receiving core is really young and can play. So, all right, let's see if I've heard of any of these. No, I haven't. Yeah, their offensive line sucks, dude. Who the hell is Lloyd Cushenberry the Third? This is, yeah, that's.
Where did he go to school?
Who cares?
Yale.
Probably Cushenberry, of course.
Princeton.
He went somewhere. Fucking what's the other one? BYU. Yeah, dude, I've never heard of any of their offensive linemen, and that's never a good thing. Blood break.
Here you go, kid. House.
Woo. Boy, my lungs are going to be mad at me tomorrow morning. That is for sure. All right, so then we switch over to the other side of the ball. Our everybody in Gray Matter's favorite side of the ball.
Right.
I mean, Von Miller was out for the season, so that's literally your team's best player who didn't play last year. And I also know that there's like some contract issues with Von Miller, so I don't know how much longer he's going to be in Denver anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But they got him for this year, and they can pair him up with Bradley Chubb. So that's a 1-2 punch up front that's extremely potent.
Mm-hmm.
The problem around that is I've never heard of anybody else. In their front. All right, so outside of this, me and Kerry were talking about this dude last season. They got this guy, this white dude named Josie Jewell. Little tiny white linebacker that just fly. He's always where the ball is at. He was a rookie last year, so they do have that. Now you get to their secondary, they have added to their secondary via free agency to now they have one of the best secondaries in football. They had Kyle Fuller at one corner, and they got Ronald Darby is at their other corner, but they just added Justin Simmons and made him the highest paid safety in football. And whenever you're the highest paid at any position, you're pretty fucking good, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And then their other safety is Kareem Jackson, so you're looking at a starting secondary that is all, we all know of them. I've heard of all these names.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, you know, Roger, I've said this for the last 9 weeks now. Once you get past the starters, I don't know who any of these fucking people are.
Yeah. That's why they're not contenders, you know?
That just goes to show you that, you know, the further that we go along, the evolution of each team is, you'll see, yeah, the depth in these teams. Especially, you know, the better teams, they usually have a lot of depth at defensive line, so they can do a lot of rotation.
Keep guys fresh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll have, you know, receivers, and the running backs will go at least 2 deep. All these teams fucking suck, dude. Yo, what's going to happen whenever the salary cap's $250 million and these teams still suck?
Wow, I don't know. That'd be very interesting. With that cap, they could probably. I mean, you should better bring in top quality players and pay them and have contenders in each division. You know,
it should only make football better. But like,
yeah,
these teams consistently suck. That goes to show you the power of the quarterback. Like the need for an actual quarterback. And this is why I always tell everyone I cannot stand to watch football unless there's like a real quarterback. Lamar Jackson, he won an MVP. Awesome. Good for you. I don't want to watch it. I want to watch a real quarterback. You know, that's why Patrick Mahomes, as soon as I saw Justin Herbert play, I was just like, oh my God, look at this kid.
Your boy Brady.
Yeah, that's, you know, I'm old school. I do like the creativity of Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and now this kid from BYU, whatever.
Damn, I
dude,
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that kid, that throw, I can't. That throw he made in his pro day is Patrick Mahomes is the only other person that can make that throw.
Mm-hmm. That baseball in him, you know.
Yeah,
that baseball part.
Yeah, I like it because, like I always say, we got into a spell during the 2000s where kids were going to quarterback camps, and, like, that's all they ever did. You're just a quarterback. And then, A, you're limiting yourself athletically, but B, you're going to get burnt the fuck out by the time you know.
You see a lot of those guys become, you know, safeties, you know. Even the more athletic ones become receivers, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, also every basketball player, like in college, it was probably like that at Ohio State, but you know, at Division II, the basketball team and the football team, we all knew each other. Like we all the athletes always hung out with each other, and all of the basketball players wanted to play receiver and tight end. Every single one of them.
Yeah. Receiver, slot, yeah. The skill positions.
As a matter of fact, we had a guy named Cool that was 6'8" that came and played wide receiver. He was trash though.
Well, you would figure all you had to do was throw it up to him, but he couldn't catch on.
He didn't understand that. Yeah, he didn't understand that even if he understands how to high point it because he plays basketball, that I'm not jumping with him. I'm waiting until he's on his way down, and then I'm going to jump. I'm going to go through the ball as he's bringing it down. Shit worked every time with him.
What's up, nephew?
Or, Roger, you know the go-to, as soon as the ball touches their hands, to karate chop the shit out of one of their elbows.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, all those like, you know, little football things that you would learn with experience. He had no idea about any of that shit. He was tall as a motherfucker. They're like Harold Carmichael tall, like 6'8".
Okay.
Like just.
I'll take it. What I got up there that's fucking surprising.
They watching that Method Man and Red Man on what's it called here again? Versus.
Yeah, what time did that shit start?
It just started. It started at 8:00.
8:00. Ah, fuck. Well, I missed it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Nah, I'll watch it on YouTube later.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Their leading tackler, this Anthony. I don't know who this guy is.
Anthony.
It's Alexander Johnson. Who the fuck is this guy? See? Yo, Roger, this is not a good thing whenever your leading tackler, I don't even know who your leading tackler is. Now, like I said, yeah. I do have some anti-Broncos bias.
Broncos. Okay.
Like, I really don't like them. I never have.
Never been one of my favorite teams either. But they have some decent players over the years, but...
Yeah, I mean, I always liked, Steve Atwater.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, we talked about the subject last week. Yeah, Steve Atwater was always a legend for the Broncos.
Steve Atwater, and I always have respect for, oh, man, see, I am so fucking high right now. Terrell Davis. Because the whole playing with migraines, I've experienced that, and he played in a Super Bowl with a fucking migraine, and I know when I played in a playoff game with a migraine, it's the worst game I've ever had in my life. He still balled out, so, and he's a running back.
Yeah.
Incredible. Um, one of my favorite, most underrated receivers ever, JoJo Vicious, played for the Broncos.
Oh yeah, Joe J. Vicious. Yeah, he was. He was the before the guy from. I'm so hard too. The Patriots, the Edelman. You know, before them kind of guys. You know that.
The white receiver, dude, who was getting busy.
Yeah,
He was getting
exactly.
busy, man. He made some. He had a bunch of. And who was Rod something.
Smith, Rod
Yeah,
Smith.
Rod Smith, undrafted to Hall of Fame worthy.
Definitely, yeah.
And then other than that, man, I've hated every single player from that team.
Wow.
Just hated them. Always have. I don't know why. It might have been the whole John Elway thing. I never really liked him, even though I do give him props as easily one of the top 5 quarterbacks who's ever played, skill set wise. He couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't win until he had that running game, though.
Exactly. He was a pocket passer, could never get out the pocket. You know, he always had a good lineman to protect him. You know.
Yo, Roger, there's something that always bothered me about him doing the whole I'm not going to whoever drafted. I think it was the Colts that wanted to draft him, but he's just like, nah, I'm not going there. I'm not playing football. Fuck you guys. I'm going to play baseball.
Yeah. Who was that you talking about?
John Elway. So the whole thing that remember when Eli was like, yo, I'm not going to go to the Chargers if they draft me. John Elway was the first one to do that. If my memory serves me correct, it was the Colts who had the rights to his pick, and he's like, "No, I'm not going. I'm not fucking going."
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, he was the first one to do that, and that's in the '80s when you kind of just got drafted and you went and you soldiered up, you put on your uniform and you played. So I was like, I don't really like this guy. Now the players have all the leverage and power and shit. So
yeah, they do. That's good for them, though. Shit.
Oh yeah, nah, it's needed. It's needed, but as a kid in the '80s and '90s watching this shit, you only absorb the information that they're showing you, and back in those time periods, NFL players were faceless.
It's on? Yeah. I thought it started at 9.
My sister-in-law.
How long is it? What they doing?
They just doing songs and stuff like that.
How you doing, that B?
Taking turns.
No, complaints. How about you?
Doing good.
Good. Good to see you.
Same here. Yeah.
Yo,
My fault. Yeah.
no, it's all good. I am correct. It was the Colts, but it was so long ago that it was the Baltimore Colts.
Wow. Damn. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Fact. That's crazy.
Let me see.
He's one of the first to start doing that shit, huh?
You gotta.
Yeah, he
That's
was.
that privilege. That's that privileged white shit they get to do all the time. The Mannings did it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, man. I hated Eli Manning even before he beat the perfect Patriots. So I always hated that shit because it's just like, yo, how many players can be like, nah, I don't want to play for you. Fuck you. It's like such a blessing and such a like a rarity to even get to the league to be able to be like, nah, I don't want to play for you. That shit always just did not sit right with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna walk out here.
Oh man, Baltimore Colts, Jesus Christ. $1987, 83. It's nuts though, man. Cause so he's like, yo, I don't care if you draft me, I'm not playing for you.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly and Dan Marino were both drafted in that same draft.
Uh-huh.
So the Baltimore Colts could have known, and they knew John Elway. They knew he was not going to play for them if they took him, and like it was a known fact. And they still fucking drafted him anyway. They could have had Jim Kelly or Dan Marino, and then they ended up with none of them.
Wow.
That is incredible ineptitude in the GM. You know, this is, me and Kerry always talk about this, Roger. There's a lot of terrible GMs in football. Like, terrible.
Oh yeah, because they haven't played football.
Yeah, they got business degrees and shit.
Uh-huh. You know. Hold on, my daughter keep calling. Hold on real quick, man.
Nah, do your thing, man. Yeah, Flea, Edelman was a quarterback at Kent State. He was an option quarterback. And the Patriots were the only team that had him on their draft board. They still waited till the 7th round to draft him. And they drafted him as a receiver and punt returner. Because they said, we can turn you into a receiver. Since he ran the option in college, he already was very shifty with the ball in his hand, so it was natural for him to transition to punt returner. And he's also really fucking tough. And one of my favorite players of all time, that's for sure. He had the career that I always wanted to have. That's what I always say about Edelman. Yeah, Flea, you're right, yo. That smile inside of the helmet. Where's your mouthpiece at, John Elway? Oh, man. It would have been good to have Kerry on today. I know he's busy and got stuck in traffic or something because he knows a lot more about the Denver Broncos than I do. That is for sure. I do like their secondary, though. I mean, you could always tell a team that is this young across the board has been bad for a while, because the only way for you to have a roster this young across the board like this means that you suck, and your roster is full of high draft picks and whatnot, because high draft picks, you have to commit to them. Yeah, Flea, you got to remember that Super Bowl, man. They lost like 55-13 or something absolutely retarded. They got blown out in that one. It was really, really bad. So, we got any other facts about the Broncos or the NFL that even matter? Because if not, then I am going to go eat some food because I have not eaten today. I played golf. Today's episode of Great Matter may only be an hour long. One blunt. Although this is I went through 2 boxes of blunts today. Who the Niners are going to take is definitely going to be a quarterback. You don't trade up multiple draft picks to not pick a quarterback. So possibly Justin Fields. If not him, then Mac Jones is going to be one of those two, I'm assuming, which will, once they select at 3, that's going to set what's going to happen behind them, because the Falcons have number 4 and they're not looking quarterback. They've already openly discussed trading the 4th pick. So you have to, like Roger and myself discussed, you have to look at the teams that are capable of moving up to 4, and there's only a few. And if it's the Patriots, they're drafted at 16, so that 16 to 4 jump is gigantic in first round NFL status. They'd have to give up 2 1s, probably a player, future second and third conditional late round picks, swaps, like all types of shit. Yeah, it's interesting, Flea, because it's like the top end of this draft is going to be quarterback. Like, a run on quarterbacks, and then you're going to see that tackle from Oregon. The Bengals are going to end up taking him if they don't take a wide receiver, but they should take that tackle. And then you'll see a couple wide receivers. You're not going to see like running backs and tight ends other than the kid from Florida, Pitts. He's going to go very early. But other players outside of wide receivers and quarterbacks, you're not going to see coming off the board until middle to late first round, and then the second round. This is why I said last week that I believe the second round of this draft has the potential to be one of the best second rounds in the history of the NFL, because the amount of talent that is available in this draft that aren't, the vanity positions is retarded. So you're looking at running backs, guards, linebackers, safeties coming off the board in the second and third round before like any of them come off. So first round's always quarterback, tackles, corners, DNs. So, yeah, Mac Brown is now the coach at North Carolina, so I trust the talent that they're getting there now. So, yeah, other than that, I got nothing else to talk about the Broncos. I fucking hate the Broncos. So, they got to be my most hated NFL team, not named the Giants with Eli Manning. But just as an overall thing, I can't stand the Broncos, and it's 420, dude. I am high as shit. So, since I don't want to sit here and do this by myself for 2 more hours, I'm going to go eat some food and do some other shit. Flea, as always, appreciate you stopping by for Gray Matter, homie. Anybody else that's going to see this, I appreciate it. It's 420, and we've got other things to do besides this.